Hey, this is Nick with Community Benchmark. I've had some coffee and I'm excited to share a cool story that I was fortunate to be a part of. It involves a family owned winery doing a few million in DTC sales each year. They have a solid DTC program with proactive leadership, but they wanted that extra layer of intelligence to really elevate their conversations. So we partnered up, we met last October, and we wanted to review their progress through the year. So found some things that were working well, and of course, a nice opportunity worth talking about. And we see that here in the tasting room, where they grew 39% year over year versus their peers that had doubled tasting room revenue. In other words, they'd grown 30% less than their peers, right? This is our innovative concept called your true trend. Did we outperform the market or outperform our peers? So we wanted to dive in, right? So love the bump in visitation. That's a nice bounce back. Average order value, well, that's delicious. 38% year over year growth, much better than our peers, but hard to ignore the elephant in the room. Purchase conversion rate dropped internally and comparatively. So through a little conversation, we found out that they had um, a pretty high threshold for waiving the tasting fee, which was intentional. They wanted to value the wines they were pouring, they wanted to value the time of their staff, and they wanted to accentuate the perks of the wine club, but couldn't ignore the opportunity in front of them. So, through some dialogue and a quick consultation with our partners at the Wise Academy, decided, yep, let's adjust that threshold and see if we can't move the needle here. So we're going to fast forward to December, and actually, I'm going to scroll up, and we're going to look at their purchase conversion rate throughout the year. Right, so we see it hovers around 30%. Ooh, but we like this nice increase after our conversation. So great growth into October, November, and maintained somewhat into December. But how do we know for sure this was something unique to us, right? It's the holidays. Maybe people are just buying more. How do we know? Well, let's click on this both button. We do that and we see, nice. We like our growth from September to November more than the growth that's happening around us. And it looks like that drop from November to December is pretty normal. To better illustrate, we can click on our true trend and we can see relative performance, right? So uniquely growing from September to November, slight drop in December, but we're still thrilled, right? The last component here, the question is, what about average order value, right? We just lowered the threshold for them to purchase. Did we shoot ourselves in the foot for them to buy wine or as much wine? And we can see, relatively speaking, we did not. That also grew from October to November and maintained into December, right? November, December, two delightful, delightful months. And actual, to quantify it, we increased conversion rates 18% here, which equated to $55,000 in additional revenue in the tasting room in 2 months, right? Just from a simple conversation and knowing where to focus our efforts, right? And that's what Community Benchmark does. We allow wineries to have more valuable conversations, find better action items, and inevitably put more money in the bank. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.